with GISELLE magazine. I'm the founder, owner, and every Monday I do a sit down Facebook live show. The show is called Lydia Yonly Speaks. On this show, we talk about inspiring things. We bring inspiring people on here, to chat and to basically teach us or tell us one or two important things that we can learn. This platform, this particular show on today is about learning. I have two amazing guests for you guys. The first episode of the show, I didn't have any guests at all, but today I have two amazing guests. I have Miss Rachael LibDiva. She is a promoter, a blogger, an entrepreneur, a filmmaker. She has so many titles. She wears so many hats. I also have Fatou Jomo, if I'm saying her name right. She's a real estate agent. She does have a nonprofit foundation. So I have those two amazing ladies here today that's gonna be, telling you guys some things that you want to hear, important things that you want to hear. But before we get into the show, like I promise you guys, every single Monday before the show starts, I'm gonna do words of encouragement, and something that I have written down in my book to speak to you guys on today is consistency. Consistency is the word. Hello, Mr. Dope. Hello, Comfort. At least my one and only Comfort. Thank you so much for always being here. Thank you so much for always being here, Mr. Dope. Thank you guys so much for the love and the support. Hello, Sis Rachel. I see you're here. I'm here. So for today, words of encouragement. I want to talk to you guys about consistency. All right, that's something I have mastered. I have mastered consistency. It is that's one of the toughest things as humans to master, is to be consistent, and one thing I've learned is consistency comes with success. So when you're consistent, no matter what it is you're doing, that is handbags, business, platform, whatever it is that you're doing, and when you're consistent with it, like this live show, all right, I know today I'm 1 hour behind, but because I have committed to doing the show every Monday, I have to be here. Even if I'm 1 hour behind, I still got to be here for you guys, because I promise you guys I will do the show every Monday. I love doing the show. This is my second episode. I'm so excited to be doing this show. I pray one day it become bigger, to where I'll have my own. This is my studio from home that I'm doing the show in. The studio isn't set up yet, so that's why you guys cannot see like the full studio. But once it's all set up, then I will like push the camera back and give you guys like a full, tour of the studio. And also the goal is to bring people into the studio and chat with them, rather than just on Facebook Live. So it's Facebook Live and in person. So I can't wait to keep doing this for you guys. So today, words of encouragement is consistency. Hello, African. Hello, DJ African. How are you doing? Welcome back to the show. So today, words of encouragement is consistency. I want to talk to you guys about consistency. Like, oh my goodness, I was not somebody who was always consistent. I've never seen myself to be someone who is consistent, but I know myself to be passionate, So when you're passionate about something, you become consistent with it because you love it. So consistency becomes easier for you. So consistency, I would advise that you always be consistent, no matter what you want to do. No matter what it is that you want to do, you have to stay consistent. Once you're consistent, I'm telling you, I have seen proof. I am a living witness, evidence, however you want to call it, of consistency. I started this platform. Well, we started this platform in 2014. And since we started in 2014, we are now, like this year, the platform went viral on Instagram and on Facebook. YouTube is next, all right? We reached 3.1 million people on Instagram, and then on Facebook with the platform reach 1.4 million people. So that is because the platform has been consistent. The brains, the people behind the platform has been consistent. That's why we were able to, you know, I mean, not because, how do I say it? Like, I'm just now seeing the fruits, you know, the fruits of my labor, the fruit of our labor, basically from the platform, from all these years. So you always have to stay consistent no matter what it is that you want to do. I'm going to stop talking so much, you guys. I will talk to you guys more after the show, but I want to see if I have any of my guests here available so I can bring them on so we can get started. I have Rachel. Let me see if she can come on. It says unable to add guests. Okay. I can't add. Rachel, please request to come on. I'm gonna bring my guest on. Okay, so I don't know what's happening. I think Rachel's adding. Okay, so I have Miss Rachael LibDiva, the
Hey,
diva herself.
I was
My
trying to share
lighting
the
is so
video.
dark in here, you guys, but I love it. It showed my chocolate skin.
I was trying to share the video, and then I had a video on the side, trying to share in the groups. When I try to come back, it wouldn't load up. That's why you couldn't invite me. But I'm here. I have to get out and come back again. But I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Flying in this. All right, sis. I know I said 6 and now it's 7, but I did communicate with you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. I have 2 guests. One is Miss Rachel right here, and I have Miss Fatuo, who is a cousin, who is a friend to my cousin. So she called me cousin. So my cousin is coming up next. Miss Rachel, can you please tell us, you know, introduce yourself. Tell us about you, what you do. Like, let's get it
Oh,
rolling.
when I imagine I ever started. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
Lord.
But anyway, my name is Rachael M'Balleh, aka LibDiva. So I'm an entrepreneur and also a businesswoman as well as a producer, um, manager as well too. Oh my God, how do I go on? It's so much that I've been in the industry, blogger as well too, and a talk show host as well. So I think I cover everything in a nutshell right there.
Right. All right. I mean, that's amazing that you wear so many hats, you know. I feel like I've been knowing you forever, even though like we just started knowing each other a few years ago. You know, it's crazy that I feel like I've been knowing you forever. So, Rachel, what are you, how do I say, like, how long have you been into the Liberian entertainment segment, like sector or industry?
Oh, let's see. I want to say 10 years or more. Yeah, that's how long I've been here. 10 years or more, yeah. I'm pretty much. Because the LDA celebrated the 12th or 13th anniversary in Liberia, if I'm mistaken. So I started the entertainment industry before the LDA even came out. So I have to kind of like base it around that. It have to be 10 years or more. It cannot be less than 10 years. That for sure I know.
Okay, so with your 10 years plus experience, like you are literally a pioneer. Like you're one of those pioneers of our entertainment, one of those people who literally, me, I always say, I don't care what anybody say. You're one of those people who like paved the way for people like myself, you know. So, you know, I really appreciate you, you know, my platform, my team, we really appreciate you so much for that. It's amazing to have you in my corner, like to say I know Rachel, you know, and just the fact that you've been doing this for so long, you have so much experience, you know, than me. So it's amazing. So far with your experience, you know, how did you come into, because I know you have said how long you've been doing it, but like what made you to say, okay, I want to get into the entertainment business? Like what brought you or who brought you into the game?
That's a great question. So I want to give credit. So we started as a promotion team, okay? I had two guys that I call my brothers. I've been knowing for 20 plus years. Ralph Torber, he's a shy one. He doesn't like to talk a lot. He always stay in the back. Every time I call him, he's like, no. So if people have been following me a lot, we had a Ralph and Rachel show. We're on radio every Saturday. So Ralph and
really nice, Ralph and Rachel show.
Yeah. Ralph and Rachel, so it was called the Hour and Hour show. And so Ralph and then Reese, so all our names started with R's. Can you imagine that? What a coincidence, right? So we had Reese, Ralph, and Rachel, 3 hours. So we started the entertainment industry in Minnesota, actually, when it comes to Africans, because everybody was doing the white people thing, the white music, and we started our promotion group. We registered it. It was called Extensive Vision Entertainment. So a lot of people, if you've been following me, if you see, we had a page on Facebook, but then I lost the password. I can't get it anymore.
Oh, wow.
So I started from that. And then, so Reese and Ralph was like my go-to people. They encouraged me. They pushed me a lot because I was like, I'm just doing this as a hobby. This is fun. And they were like, Rachel, do you know how much weight you carry? Like how much decision you make in the industry? Like you should take this seriously. Don't take this as a hobby because I just want to hang out with my friends. If my name was on the flyer, people will come to party. If I was hosting the show, people will come to party. So they're like, your name carries weight because when people do that show, they be like, who's part of it? And if they don't call your name, be like, what's Rachel hosting? What's Rachel's going to be? So they really actually mold me, actually encouraged me to take it seriously and expand. So when we started the entertainment industry in Minnesota, I want to say over 10 years. Again, I can be exact. Over 10 years, there wasn't any African entertainment, by the way, not just Liberian. There wasn't African entertainment. And so I started as a promoter, promoting African clubs, getting people out there to go party. Then we started working with other promoters to bring African artists in America. And then so when we started that, we started with Awido from Zion. I wasn't a big African fan music at that time. I can't dance, but I used to love his music. So we started bringing Awido, and then we branched over to the Nigerians, and Liberia was not on the scene at that time. And so we started one time, and it was like, do we have Liberian artists? You know? And I remember at that time it was Takunje, actually Takunje that was popping. Takunje. These were the only two names that were popping back. I'll get in that credit. They started this thing from way back, and it was like, well, Takunje making music, but does it really make sense for us to promote it here? And we've been rapping, but we don't know if that's going to cross over. And we were like, we need to pay more attention to Liberian music. And not rap, but Reese was the very first Liberian in Minnesota to ever put his money behind a Liberian artist, to bring a Liberian artist at concert in Minnesota. And that was Jody Clark. If he's watching, like, yeah, they booked me. We booked Jody Clark. He's like, Rachel, every penny that we earned during our promotion, we had an account. He's like, Rachel, we're gonna spend it all. We're gonna put it behind our artists. And at that time, the Nigerian already booming was like, you know what? We need to get our people on board. You know, with this thing that's going, this African music, everybody enjoying it. Let's get Jody. And so we put our money behind Jody. And Jody came. So I was surprised. Jody was a sold-out concert. Everybody came out to support Jody. Jody came the second time again. He want to come in Minnesota. He contacted our same crew. He didn't go to anyone else. He's like, I'm working with these people. These people have to crowd. And then Jody had the Vision album. He came out the album. We promoted the album. The album sold out the same night at the same spot, and I hosted that event. And so from there, we said we need to pay more attention to Liberian music, Liberian art and culture, Liberian entertainment, and then we started branching. Reese kind of like fell back. He's like more of the business kind of soft-spoken guy. And then Ralph and I was the one that carried everything on our shoulder. So Ralph and I was like, we're still going to continue this. Ralph and I started the Ralph and Rachel show on radio. We actually got nominated earlier too, by the way.
Oh, wow. So you have been nominated
I've been nominated by the 3 times.
Oh,
First
wow.
time, yeah, a radio personality. And then the second time, best dressed female. They had that category before.
Okay. My sis can slay.
Yes, I was nominated. And the third time, best female radio personality. So those 3 times I was nominated. So I've been there for so long, and so we started to pay more attention to Liberian entertainment. It was like, this is where our money should be. We should be supporting our people, because whatever they come here, they mix, it's going to benefit them, and it's going to also help to grow our industry, and also going to help to bring development in the country. So that's why I kind of like deviated from the whole African in general to just Liberians as a whole.
And you guys are, wow. I mean, you guys was right to start doing that, because I mean, most people complain about change or making a difference, but it's like, it starts with you. You know, just your little contribution that you do towards artists, or just, you know, someone else, is always, as a Liberian or towards the country, it's always beneficial to us all. All right, so that's amazing. So I saw you posting few of the Nigerian celebrities you have interviewed, and I was like, oh wow, this is amazing, because growing up I have watched so many of those, you know, entertainers that you have sat down with or had the privilege to speak with, chat with, before they even got like bigger like they are now. So how did you get that connect? Like, how were you able to connect with those Nigerian celebrities to interview them?
Well, I would give credit to Larry B. And when I posted the pictures, he keep on the knees like, you need to inbox me my cut for giving you all these connects. If you look at the picture underneath of his comment, I was like, dude, you already did. But and like I said, I was popping. I was like the only female promoter, entertainer, host that was in Minnesota at that time. Everybody was shy. I'm not saying there wasn't any pretty girls. There was a lot of pretty girls.
Confidence is key.
Right, but they were like, all right, that's not our thing. We're not gonna be on the microphone. We're gonna just leave that over there. And so when Larry B saw I was popping, so to backtrack, when we started the first Liberian club ever in Minnesota called Club Africa, then we branched out, then it got shut down. Then we branched out and we had the Swagger Awards. I don't know if you guys heard about the Swagger Awards.
I've heard of it from you.
That was the Ralph and Rachel show idea. That show was registering our name. That's why up to now, nobody is copyrighted by us. Nobody can ever have Swagger Awards, ever in their entire life. If they ever put that out, we're suing them. We're going to sue people. And so Larry B saw how effective I was in my community. And, you know, of course, Liberians, we support Nigerians like that. So he's like, if I bring Rachel on board, Rachel's going to bring her people, and they're going to support my event. And so he started putting me on. Like, there's so many of them I have met that someone I don't even have pictures of my own, but I know some. At that time, blogs was not really big like that and popping, but they have personal pictures. But the one that I really, really was heartfelt to me was Desmond Elliott had, or is that him? No, that's not him. Desmond Elliott had a movie premiere. And I was selected by everybody in the community, like, call Rachel. He's like, I need this interview. And that's when he brought Iniedo, he brought Tonto, he brought Genevieve. I didn't get into it, Genevieve, because Genevieve, she's not a picture person. She doesn't want to take picture. Don't talk to her. Just let her be. So many people. Lydia Fosun, she's from Ghana. There was another guy called UT. He was the winner of Big Brother or Big Brother, whatever that show is. He was the runner of her. I met Mona Lisa. I met Patient. Mama G. Well, Papa, I met all of those people. And so doing his movie premiere, and Majid Michael as well too, and Van Vicker, Jim Ike. Oh my God.
Goodness. Wow.
And so on and on. And during that day, he's like, you're gonna do all the interviews. I went to my greatest surprise. I wish I had requested a copy of that, because it's so precious to me, because 2 years later, I went Ghana, only to find out that interview actually aired in Ghana on the television in Nigeria. I was actually out when one of my cousins called me. She's like, do you know you're on TV? I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, they had an event. She started naming everybody. I said, oh, I remember that. She's like, yeah, you're on TV right now. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah, you are on TV. And I felt so good at that time to be the first Liberian girl ever. This was like 2000, maybe 2011 or 2010, around that time, to be on national television from all the way to America in Ghana, and people watch live. So, Larry, if you're watching, you're the one who made that possible. He's like, even though we can fight right now, we're still fighting. We're not best of friends right now. but we still cool. But he was the one that make that happen and put me on the plug. Timaya, P-Square, Flavor, all those people I have met. And at that time, I was just only I wasn't concerned about taking pictures or video.
Right, like for now, we concerned about pictures.
It was like come in, get paid, do the job, go. So I'm concerned about hosting. So when I go host, my phone is either in my purse or in the bag or somebody holding on to it. Don't get in my phone. When I get done hosting, get my phone, I'm out. So my main concern was like, give those people a good show, host this show, because I want to get the next gig. So I got to do my best to get the next gig so I can get called to host the show. So Larry B is the person I want to give kudos to, because he was the one putting me on all these shows, interview all of these people. I'm getting to know all of these people. He was like, Rachel is the one, go to Rachel, go to Rachel, go to Rachel. At some point, Bracket thought I was Nigerian.
Wow.
They came and I was they came, I was so friendly with them. And at that time when they came, they were really hungry. And then I was like, Rachel, you need to make something. I was like, okay, I'll just make some kind of dry red fried fish. And I made food and I put plenty on the side because I know they love to eat plenty with everything. Nigerian, everything they eat, they gotta have to fry plenty on the side. And I picked them up from the airport, took them to the hotel, checked them in, everything, give them food. And I'm speaking like them, but I'm not speaking that, speaking that broken English, because I used to speak the pidgin English like this. If you didn't know me, you would think I'm Nigerian. So Larry came in the room and they were like, so which state are you from? Are you from Igbo state? And he was like, who are you guys asking? He said, Richard, he said, she's not Nigerian. She's Liberian. It was so funny. They were like, what? No, you're not. You look like it, act like it, you speak like us. I'm like, no, I never even crossed the ocean to go to your country.
Wow, it's gonna wow. Imagine Rachel sounding Nigerian. That's it. So...
I'm telling you, because those are all my friends. I used to hang out with them a lot. So all of them a lot. I used to talk like them. I knew, or they couldn't gossip about me in front of me because I could understand what they're saying. So they just felt that I was Nigerian. So I was like, no, I'm not. They were like, they couldn't believe it the entire time. They were just looking at me like, Rachel, that's not true. Ask your mother, you have some kind of Nigerian blood.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Like for me, I love hearing you talk about like your experience, just from the beginning. For me, like it's very so after all of that, I see that you still up from 10 years ago up to now.
So I just somebody have a question. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, DJ African said, what's your name? He's asking for your name.
Oh, Rachael LibDiva. I go by Miss LibDiva.
This is DJ African. He's one of those DJs in Liberia that's making like a huge difference, and he's always for new people to meet and connect with. So this is Rachel. If you need more information, I would DM you, or you can DM her or send her a friend request. You guys can connect.
What can I recommend? Okay, big DJ African, right? So when the main person I really had a conversation with, I want to say two. I had a conversation with Timaya and with Flavor. And my question was, what got you guys, how do you guys do it to get where you are? And what can you recommend for my Liberian artists or my Liberian people to get to where you guys are? And one thing that they said to me was that they push each other. And we all can see the manifestation right now. They push each other to grow. They're like, your people have to have your back. And when your people have your back, when you go out there and succeed, do not forget your people. This was exactly what Timaya said to me. He said, do not forget your people when you climb that ladder, because those people are the one who got you over there. So you got to come back. Whether it's a slum, whether it's in the village, you still got to come back and pay your respect. And then you have to get someone from there. And one thing he also said was that their industry were very small, okay? But most of their politicians and their business owners started pumping money into them to go into the studio, started pumping money into them to do their shows. They started doing like local shows before they even start coming overseas. So they had people that believe in their craft, and these people were giving them money or sponsoring it. So for example, if you were going to go perform, so since still in Nigeria, a big politician or a big business person will pay for everything for them to just perform and give a good show. So these people are actually investing into their people. So he was like, I didn't just get here. Kimaya came from the slum. He will tell you that. He said, I was nobody. I was nothing. My parents are highly educated, but I wasn't the person that wanted to go to school. His parents wanted for him to become a banker. He wanted to be an artist, but they wouldn't support his craft because they just thought it was BS. They were like, we're not going to support that stuff. You got to go to school, got to get a good job to make good money, because African parents at that time, they didn't think like singing was a career. But he made a career because people believe in him. They saw something in him. So the Nigerian people actually invested into that industry to get it to where it is. So most of the artists you see, they have invested, they have people that believe in them saying, you know what, I can put 100K on you. I can put a 10K on you. And I know I'm going to make money from that. And we know Nigerian people all about business. We say they put that money, but our business. If you are an artist and I see something in you and say, I'm going to put 10K in you, I'm expecting to get more than that 10K from there. So they see talent and they recognize talent. And so they invest their all into that. And I think that's what we're lacking in our industry, because there's not a lot of investors. And two, most artists or entertainers are not humble enough to actually get what they deserve. Everybody think they have made it. Everybody think they are superstars already. I don't want to say there's no rich person in our industry or in Liberia. There are people that do have money, but the way we are so conceited, we will not get that help from those people. So we can't say Liberia is so broke or it's so poor. There's some people that definitely will want to invest into artists, but if artists or entertainers are not humble enough to get that particular help, you're going to be singing all the time. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to make this music. We'll post it on Facebook. You'll get our inbox. You will, I'm telling you for real, you will get our inbox. We'll soak it, we'll share it. But you need that money. You need that 10, 20, 30. And somebody put that money behind you, you have to deliver. You can't be disrespectful towards them. If they tell you, you got to do 20 shows in one day to get that money back, you have to do that 20 shows. And it's same thing in America. When a record label sign a artist, it's a whole package. How you dress, where you go, what do you do? Do y'all know that they're actually insuring artists right now? Oh yes, record label are putting a life insurance now. So you ain't got to take 50K from these people and think you're gonna go and flunk around and then get yourself killed and then they lose all their money. No, they're not about to do that anymore. So now they insure you, and that 10K they give you upfront is to get you prepared and actually make you look presentable as an artist, that they are you know, they can represent it everywhere. So most artists are not humble, and that's one of the things that is so draining, that is draining our industry, because people are not humble enough. People don't want to take instructions. Everybody think they are superstars already. You do one song, you do a photo shoot, bam, you already made it. There's so much to that. Like seriously, so much to that. You can make one song and then be out there and do a photo shoot. That's not up to it. You still need that backing. Even if that $500 somebody put in you, it's still that money. But our people would say $500, nothing. What in that? What is some money? Give me so much. But that person believe in you, your dreams, your goals, and they put that money in you. So those are some of the things I actually learned on DJ. Is it Big African? I don't miss it, man.
He's a big African.
Big African.
Big African. Please hold all the questions next time for after. Yes, but yeah, Rachel literally hit all of the spots. She answered a lot of questions that I had coming up anyways. Here says Jamande, welcome to the live. Thank you for always tuning in. But yeah, Rachel, you have said it all. You know, I feel like it's like doing this whole entertainment business, you really have to be passionate, because it is draining. It gets so tiring, especially the artists, the people that we're trying to push. Most of them don't understand. It's like most of them are all about popularity. Once they get popular, few blogs posted them here and there, then they're bukaing, you know. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, you know. So we have a long way to go. But I do have another guest, but for some reason, I don't see her on here or anything. But let's keep chatting. I want to talk about, like, you being into entertainment. Like, I want to talk about a little bit of the drama the positive. Like I just want us to talk girl to girl, sister to sister,
Okay.
blogger to blogger. I know this blogging thing. Like I said on my previous live from last Monday, blogging was never a popular thing. Blogging was never a thing that people used to be proud of. Like Liberian bloggers used to get insulted, cuss out, drag, call us all type of name. We can rap, we can speak,
We can
we're all
spell.
educated, all kinds of things. But nowadays I see so many new platforms, so many new bloggers. People are proud to be bloggers, and I'm so happy for that, because like I feel like the bloggers and the platforms, the promoters, we are the backbone of the industry. Say whatever you want to say, my people, but we are, because what we put out there is what the world see. Can you imagine? Rachel, it's been like going on 12, 13 years and you're still here. That tells me it's the passion.
I tell people
But we
because
all know that there's not money. I mean,
people,
it's not because of the love of money. It's
it
because
just,
of the passion. So, that's so amazing. Being here, and so far I know you have been on so many like different platforms. When I say platform, like the LEA, you have been a part of different radio stations, your own platform, your own shows and stuff. How is it like working with your own Liberian people? Like the experience, good and
it's
bad.
so hard,
We wanna
especially
know.
when it comes to artists. It is so hard. I used to manage 2 artists, actually 3. I have to drop them because of unprofessionalism. Okay, you can't schedule a studio time, or I have rehearsal, or I book you on the show, and you give me hundreds of excuses as to why you cannot be there. Now, as an artist, we all know in America you got to have your little job on the side, your 9 to 5 to pay your bills, because of course when you're starting as an artist or entertainer, you're not going to right away. You're not going to start making money right away. But it gets frustrating where you're trying to see the good in people. Like you're really trying to really get them there. I want you to be driven. I want you to see this, as a job. Don't see that as a hobby. Unless Liberian artists start seeing their career as a hobby, they're not going to go anywhere. I'm telling you. If you don't take your craft seriously, you're not going to get anywhere. And most of the artists I was working with, I had that issue with them. They're either too busy to come and put up a song in studio, or they'll put up a song in studio and I don't like it, then we have an argument. And I have to tell them all the time, I said, Beyonce, do you know how many songs Beyonce record before she can make up an album? Thousands of songs. Beyonce has a whole team. They're listening from morning to night to all those songs. And everybody has to pick their favorite and gotta say why you like this song. What's about this song that is catchy? How can this song be relatable to my audience out there? She rely on these people. Beyonce don't make all those and decision by herself. I want to do Beyonce go when she won the best right now. So if you cannot listen to your team, you cannot listen to your team to make decision, and you want to make the decision by yourself, this is where we are lacking, because most of them do not want to take criticism. They get so combative. They want to argue with you. They don't feel you're right. But just take a deep step, take a step back and say, you know what? Let me put this song that Rachel like. And I always challenge them, like, this one I like, let's put it up. If it doesn't get the good review that we expect, we'll put your song up. Then now it's a competition. You got 2 songs out there. Which one I like? Which one you like? Now the audience gonna look into that and see. But if you can't make the decision by yourself, and most of them don't even want to work with a team, you gotta have a team. Every big artist right now have a team, whether that makeup, that wardrobe, that sound person, the manager. When I used to host these Nigerians concert, do you know how many people they throw away? Up to 10 person.
Wow. Like a whole paparazzi
They
team.
got a sound person, they got a tour manager, they have that wardrobe person, and you are responsible to cater for every single one of them that fly. Every time they fly, especially Flavor trial, more than 20 people, a whole entourage. More than 20 people, whole entourage. Flavor travel with a band. He wants a whole band to play for him. So Liberian artists gotta start looking at where is a whole team. You gotta have a team to work, and you gotta listen to this team. Okay, if one person, everybody cannot be wrong for the same thing. Maybe somebody might be off, but the 3 or 4 person in your corner might be leading you to the right directions. But if you're not really there to listen to them eating because you're the artist, it's your song, you can do whatever you want. Like, I have problem with artists not doing interviews. We have yet to see us sit down interviews. But like, where are you hiding? This is how people get to know you. Where are you hiding? People, let me tell you, people can like your music or they can like your music, but you're a likable person because your story is relatable to them. Y'all need to start doing interviews. Interviews is very important. Don't shy away from that. And also, not every criticism is bad up there.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah, listen to someone and say, you know what Rachel's saying, what if I already go that route though? Maybe they might work for me. But again, if you think you know it all, you're not going to get anywhere. This is some of the problem. We can list all the problems for them here. They will not listen. They will get vexed with us, say we talk about it, but then we're doing, they want to see the industry grow. But this is what's going to get the industry to grow if we're actually taking these criticisms into consideration. So all these art, I have, like I said, I have to drop them because they were not listening to me. I can't waste my time. You can't be putting on crappy songs and I be co-signing and they say, oh yeah, that's my artist. No, I'm sorry, I just can't work with you on that. You need to put up good songs. You need to put up songs that are relatable. You have, look around you. American artists draw that inspiration from what happened in the news. They draw that inspiration from their personal childhood or upbringing, or even their friends. They sing about their friends' experience growing up. These are where they draw that inspiration from. Liberian artists don't even get inspiration for anything. Everybody wants to be an artist. You gotta be driven for something. What inspires you? You ask them what inspired them. They don't have no inspiration. How can you be an artist and have an inspiration? You have to have model behind somebody. And it's the same thing for entertainers, the bloggers, the talk show hosts. You gotta have someone that inspire you. You cannot tell me, say you had this idea up by yourself. You wasn't inspired by
Rachel, Rachel, I feel like some people have a problem with saying, okay, this person inspired me, or I like this person. I feel like us Liberian, most of us have that issue with saying, okay, Rachel inspired me. I like Rachel and she inspires me. I look up to her. Some people don't know how to say that. Like, they feel like if they say it, then it's like I don't know what it is, but I feel like most of these artists, even though they have artists who've been there before them, like what's the artist called? Lucky Bucket, you know, like those artists, they're from way back.
You know, that's my cousin, Lucky Bucket.
Really? Lucky Bucket, you know, it's like most of them. One thing is, most of these artists, most of our artists, and I love my Liberian entertainers. Everybody knows, but sometimes we have to be honest with you guys. Well, all the time we have to be honest with you guys. You guys don't know how to celebrate each other, promote each other, love on each other, push each other. I say this all the time. Once you guys do that, just see, like, everything's gonna change. Everything is gonna change, you know. So most people don't know how to give people their flowers, Rachel, and these artists don't know how to do it. Most of them are struggling with that. And you see the Nigerian artists, they can praise their
other. Two-Face is that #1 hero when it comes to that
hero. Two-Face Baba,
they were the first over artists ever to make it on the mainstream, especially in America. My African Queen, when they cross over, up to now,
on BET, I watched his interview. 20
plus years, they still reference that. Two-Face go down in the history book in Nigeria.
He paved the way for them to be.
And up to now, when they perform, anyway in Nigeria, they perform and he's there, they will always call him up and they will lay down the floor. They call him
hey. Like, where artists lay down the floor for another artist?
Lay down on the floor to get his blessing, But I was like, bro, I didn't, hey, I beg you, please. Where do I ever be appreciative? Where do I ever say that, oh yeah, that person paved the way for me, or this person is the one that got me into music? You didn't just sit there and start getting the music unless you just thought it was a gift, because most of you are doing it for hobby's sake. You think it's a hobby, but it's actually a career that people make thousands of dollars off of it. But you guys not giving kudos to the people that paved the way for y'all. You're not doing
Rachel, that. Rachel, I mean, this is how I think, and I might be wrong. Do you think, because this is what I believe, and it's like working for me. Like, I feel like it's working for me. So I might be wrong because it's just me and I think different. Do you think as a person, you know, when you are like humble, when you're like appreciative towards people who've been there before you, and you get close to somebody who's, you know, been doing their thing before you, and it's like you're just now coming and that person embraced you, don't you think that's like them opening the door for you?
Yes.
It's like them blessing you, like
Yep.
passing on the torch. I don't understand why is it that people don't see that. Like,
yep.
People
It's
don't see that.
It's
like,
a lot of blessing to be dad. It's really a lot of blessing. And one girl that really got me into the entertainment industry, they call her Hawa. She's a Togolese girl. She's in New York. Before I started entertainment, before I even started promoting, that girl was I don't know for some reason how she got connected with me. Okay, I remember it was Awido. She was a backup singer or dancer for Awido. And when Awido first came to Minnesota, I was part of the, I think I either hosted about the production team, what have you. And then she kind of saw me, you know, take pictures with them. She kind of sent me friend requests and we became friends. And I used to watch all her interview, all her stuff. Like, these people go over there. She's the one who doing all the interview. I'm like, oh my God, I really want to do this. Even though I'm not on Oprah level yet, but this girl level, this is where I want to be. And I started like following all her interviews. She's such a pretty girl, very outspoken too. A long time I haven't seen her. I think she had kids and got married, and I don't see her doing anything anymore. But she was my go-to person in the African entertainment industry, because I used to see her when they came. If they're not coming to Minnesota, they'll go there first, and then she will be the first person that get an interview before they come over to Minnesota to do any interview. So she was one of the person I look up to. And there's a lot of people here. Choicey D. I started doing red carpet hosting because of Choicey D. I love her. I was like, oh my God, I never see a Liberian woman so outspoken and so, energetic on the microphone. I took into liking Choicey D. She was the red carpet host. She's the red carpet host for the LDA. I started following Choicey D. I met Choicey D on so many occasions, especially at the LDAs. That was the only place we're meeting every year. And I started following her. I love her style. I started picking one or two things from her when she's doing her live interview at the LDA. That's somebody up to now. Every time I picture, I would tell her, I say, you're the one who inspired me to do any red carpet hosting gig or questioning and all of that stuff. I learned all that stuff from her, because my first interview, I was nervous. And
it's always nerve-wracking, sis.
It was and G.I. is a hard potatoes, y'all. If anybody ever met G.I., he's not a humble person. He's very arrogant. He don't care what you say. Just do your job and get off his face. He's not yet to make merry with you. He ain't yet to be friends with you, to be asking you where you were born. He's doing all of that stuff. So when you come in with your questions, you got to be tough. And imagine interviewing that person that is so tough. My first interview, I was sweating. I didn't have questions ready. Like, no, I had like 3 questions. But the interview section on the red carpet lasted for like, I think 30 minutes to an hour. And it was Andrew that actually gave me that first gig with Jim Ack. And he had that $1 movie. Remember that dollar movie that came out? When
$1?
He was speaking series. That was that movie.
That's my movie.
And I had to do an interview. And that dude gave me such a hard time. He would not answer any question about his relationship. He would not answer any question on his personal life. All he wanted to talk about is the industry only. And this was like, I was like, oh my God, how do I get you with this guy? And instead of the interview lasting for 1 hour, 30 minutes, he was like, you done? I was like, okay, I think I ran out of questions. But he's like, well, you done? I can go inside and sit down. And he just kind of snubbed me off. And then when I went back, I was like, you know what? I gotta have questions. I can't just come here and just be thinking of my head. I gotta come up with these questions to be able to ask these people. And so when I interviewed him, he was not nice, friendly. And then after he was Jim Ike. Now I'm going to say Jim Ike, Van Vicker, my Liberian brother, of course. I was more comfortable with him. He was so receptive of me. He was very humble. I kind of like him. And
why you not get no picture of all of these?
Because we were taking pictures.
That's like a huge portfolio. You already know me. Content. Where was the content? What's the video?
There was no content at all. But it's never. So I can say I look up to 2 people, like Choicey D on the red carpet, and of course doing the Liberian, not the Liberian, but the African entertainment. I look up to Grace. I think Grace Hawa or something like that. I can't remember her name. But those are the 2 people I actually look up to. So I didn't just get up the sky and say I'm gonna do this thing at all. And then on radio, who was said on radio? Al Jerome. You remember that TV radio presenter? Al Jerome.
I
He been in the industry for years. That man have interviewed so many big names in Liberia. Al Jerome was the one that made me get on radio. I used to listen to that guy every single time. And guess what? After I left Radio to Call a few years later, I got a call from TMZ Radio Liberia to be one of their radio personalities. And bam, who am I working with? I'm working with Al Jerome. I met this guy in the studio. I freak out. I started screaming like I met my celebrity, and people looking at me like, why is she screaming? I'm like, y'all know how long
starstruck
to meet this guy? Like, I met this guy right now. Are you kidding me? I'm so humbled to meet this guy. Up to now, we're still cool. Every time I see him, I will go out. Honk him, you'll be laughing like, oh my God, he gets still a fan. I'm like, yep. After so many years, almost in my 40s, I'm still a fan of yours. And every article or anything that he does, I see it online. I always click on it. I want to listen because he just have that radio voice. And the first day he heard me, he's like, you have a radio voice. You should stick to it. But again, the people in that radio station are working with, they probably pay that bill, so they call all that radio station. Why would you?
Oh, wow.
It shut down. I kept it on radio, but it shut down. So then I had to kind of go left. Do we have any more questions here?
Yes. Wait. I mean, I do. The audience can wait, all right? Because I know Rachel will answer all of y'all. To answer all of you guys. So I want to talk about, like, because I know being in the entertainment is like, it comes with being a public figure. It comes with negative and positive, you know. Mm-hmm. And sometimes most of us, like yourself, myself, we always try to focus on the positive because the industry is already, most of the people in it love to focus on, you know, the negative part of it, the drama, the T, the G's, whatever you want to call it. So, like, just being here so far, like, how do you feel when, like, people come for you? Like, when people spread rumors about you, lies about you, I mean, how do you feel and how do you handle that?
So, here's what I have learned over the years. I was one of those people that you come for me, girl, I'm coming for you, boy, I'm coming for you. We're going to do it, whatever platform you have it, I'm coming. But over the years, what I've learned, and I hope people listening can actually, you know, get something out of this. I sat back, and the first thing that came to my mind, like, why am I reacting the way I'm reacting? And then the next thing I started to focus on, like, you know how people will go on live and start insulting you, and then you have this instigator that will start sharing the videos in your inbox.
The same people in there, like, be sharing it.
That Lydia, she playing with you today, man. You won't go for her. So I started looking at, okay, what's the motive of this person sending me Lydia, cussing me, but they claim to be my friend? What did you say or what did you do? But what is the whole point of you sending me that video? To ignore me, to get me upset so I can go act a fool? So I'm sitting back like, oh, okay. If this is your moral behind this, then I'm not falling for that trap anymore. So I take a step back and start, watching how I respond or what I say on social media, because my ordeal a few years ago, I don't want to say I'm a child and my friend and push me, but I was influenced. I want to say that. I was influenced by the people I was surrounded around. I was influenced by what they were saying. Again, they were sharing the videos to me to hype me up. Go there, we'll share the video. But I'm thinking, I'm like, so now I went on live. I said all those stuff, which is not even necessary. Why did I even have to come and explain myself to social media people that don't even know me, only based on rumor? Why couldn't I just let them believe whatever they want to believe? Right. So I'm saying that, and I had to cut all those people off. So my greatest lesson out of this was that to not respond right away. Do not, because if responding based on emotions.
Right.
Don't respond based on emotion, but instead take a step back and rethink that situation. And then sometimes I would think, I'm like, okay, why is this person writing this about me? Or why is this person saying this thing to me? I never met them before. We never had any contact. Then I start to process that in my head. Like, I already become my own psychic, for real.
Like you have to be your own.
Why? Then what I would do, I would go on that. I'm really serious. This is what I do, yo. I would go on that person's page and say, okay, who did the friend swear? I'm like, okay, so this person don't like me, and they're friends with this person that don't even know me, but this person coming from me. So I'm like, oh.
Like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yes, this is where it's coming from. Now I get it. And then sometimes lots of females be going through so much emotional trauma in their life, Lydia, that when they see you are unhappy, even though we have our issues, but we decide not to have it get the
Talk
best of
about
us,
it.
they get irritated by that. They want everybody to be so down, sad, and be miserable as they are. So instead, even if they know, some of them know the thing they be saying is not true, but they will capitalize on it. So all of y'all can come and start bickering, going back and forth, and giving people a show. So I'm like, I'm not gonna fall for that anymore. Now, whatever you want to say, you can say it, but I'm not gonna respond the way that you expect me to respond. I would take the high road and be the bigger person about it, and not create a scene or try to create a show that people come to come watch. You want to be interested in me, all of a sudden they won't be sending me friend requests.
Right.
You're not interested in my content, my live videos, but somebody cursing me and you want me to come across this person, but all of a sudden they start adding me up. So this is how I deal with drama now. I don't respond. You can say all you want to say. You can go live for 1 week in a row about me. Like, I know who I am and the type of person I am. Like, I know that's not true. Whatever you're saying, whether is my and lifestyle or is my relationship, I'm the one who in it. I know what I'm going through. So what you're saying cannot make a change or cannot change me about what you're saying about me. So I don't respond to negativity at all. Do I feel sad sometimes that people will just get up and just start saying unnecessary things, like some blogs will carry news? The one already heard me. I still talk about it. I'm a side chick. What the hell?
God. Look at whole you.
A whole me.
Oh, real quick, shout out to Miss Christina, Detailer, Miss Lariana. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Joe, to everybody that's tuning in. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Shout out to y'all. So I don't respond to negativity anymore. I just take the hard road because I got so much to accomplish, so many goals I'm working on. I don't want no one to distract me or get me off guard. So I respond to people. I know people come for me a lot. I know recently some blog came for me. I know recently some talk show host came for me. But again, I did not respond. So you see, it just
let me still my.
I did not respond because they were irresponsible. Here's the thing. I'm going to address this on this live right now. And I know I touched on it a lot. So there was saying that what's my credentials? Like, I haven't done anything for me to be
trying to credit you. That is so cool. That's the
So now for the interviews and the people I have met, I want to say I'm one out of the 10 females in this industry, entertainment industry, that have accomplished and gone so far. I have yet to see people resume with all of these people or top names, because those names in those pictures, those are people, top people in the Nigerian or the African industry. Those are not just local people to say, oh, that were just people that were just somewhere in the backyard. Those are big names that people, some people had never met in their life. They were killed to meet them. They were killed to be by them. So for our, let's say, a female to come from me and see what have I done, that was like, do you not see what I have I done? Now, if you're saying, because I want one person that will stay in the back, I didn't want to take credit because, again, the guys I started working with, they was not into the flamboyancy, showing off, being all of that stuff. They were low key. So I was low key. Now, the people that were in Minnesota that saw me do my thing, they gave me kudos for it. Like, yeah, Rachel hosted the show. We enjoy it. It was fun. We move on. I didn't have to come and brag and tell people how many thousands of people I have met, because I know that was what I wanted to do. I wasn't doing it because I wanted attention. That was not the point. So for entertainers, a female to say, oh, wow, let me check out. Maybe if you want to blog about me, you can come and ask me, okay, so who have you met? Who have you, interviewed? I can give you a list of people. But for you to go and sit on your live video for 1-2 hours trying to discredit me as a female, like, that was the most hurtful part, to discredit my work.
Right. But sis, this the thing. The people or the person who was discrediting you, I feel like they're notorious for not doing their research. They're very notorious of not researching. They go off of emotions, of what they see or what they heard. So that's not on you. That's on whoever it is that was discrediting you. Like you said, you know who you are, and that's all matters. That's all that matters, So, but yeah, thanks for addressing that, because that was like, what?
That was funny.
Who is the scoop? Like, where have you been? Like, that the moment the person said, "Who is the scoop?" that tells me, like, sis, you are such a newbie. Like, you're a newbie, because if you're asking who's the scoop, that means you have not done your research. You literally just come. So that
No,
exposed them.
I was being ignorant because that individual have met me a few awards before, and I even presented to the
People try to hurt
before.
you when they're
So
no longer close with you or
it's me when
connected
I
to you.
presented to you at an award show before. So if I wasn't on nobody, how did I present to you? You saw them welcome, call me and my titles before I keep and read everything for you. So how can you come and sit on like social media, or because it wasn't you, like other people can get that credit, they can get that kudos because it's not you? That was just uncovered. These are some of the problems that we have in the industry. That's why we don't grow, because the haterism is so much. People just hate on you for no reason. If it's not them, it can't be you. It gotta be all about them. And again, we have to work together. You can't hit another female because she's doing her thing or it's her time. I don't hit any female in this industry. Have I had problem with them?
It's a waste of time, though.
What they did to me or what they said about me. There's not a way that you will come in the industry and hear